By next week, the current bull market will be the longest in history, and our next guest says the gains are not over yet. Joining us right now is Scott Wren. He is senior equity strategist at Wells Fargo. How much more does it have to run?
Well, you know, Andrew, I tell you, I think really right now, I think stocks are probably pretty close to fair value, or maybe even just a little bit ahead. But if I try to look out 12 months or something like that, I think it's reasonable to expect, let's say, 5 to 7% total return. So is that, you know, lights out returns? Absolutely not. It's not the 22% we saw last year, and what I think will probably be, you know, 9-10% this year. But it's still moving forward. I still think we have this good growth with modest inflation, Fed not making a mistake, decent global growth, and I think it's going to last for a while. So I think that, you know,
is that with or without a trade war?
Well, now if we have a trade war, all bets are off. That's not going to be good. The markets, that's not going to be good for the market at all. But I would put let's say a 70% probability that this negotiations are drawn out and end positively, and I think they could. You know, you never know. They could move quicker than what we think, but we're expecting it to play out and be mostly positive, but over probably a couple-year period.
Hey, Scott, one thing I wanted to point out is that this is not a FANG-driven rally. Dow's up 400 points, S&P's up 1%, and Facebook, Netflix, and Google are all trading lower. So that's been the hallmark of this bull market that we have come to experience, what is set to be the longest ever. Do you expect that those growth names are going to take us higher going forward, or is that changing?
I think this is going to be a growth market. I mean, typically when you're in later stages of a cycle, growth carries you through until halfway through the next recession, and then value kind of takes over, and that's what I would expect. But I think what you're seeing now is you're seeing some broader participation. You know, industrials, that's a sector that, you know, a lot of people, you know, that's right in the middle of the trade war kind of talk. I mean, that's done better. Consumer discretionary, ex-FANG has done better. So I think that what you're seeing is the market and the participation broaden out, and that's what's carried us so close here to the all-time record high. So are we going to get through that all-time record high the first time? You know, I'm a technical guy too, in addition to fundamentals, and you know, we probably aren't going to make it through there the first time, but I think we could spend some time consolidating these gains, maybe back and forth some days like we saw yesterday, followed by days we saw like today. But I think in the end, this bull market is not over, and we're likely to trade higher.